There we go. Apparently I'm live now. And had to reset the stream key, which I wasn't expecting to have to do. But that's okay. Stuff like that happens. How are we all? Who have we got on here today? Just hang around for a little bit and wait for some peeps to turn up. Got to have your microphone just dipping into shot, or otherwise it's not really professional, you know. It's really fancy and just a thing to have your microphone dipping in, apparently. So, who's here tonight? Who have we got? Let me know that you're on the chat and where you're from. It's kind of difficult putting together all the different time zones that we want to use with something like this. Also, if you can just let me know that everything seems to be working okay as well, that would be awesome. Like you can actually hear me and that kind of crap. Okay, who have we got? Danalai, how are you? Ewalt, Arius, awesome to see you. Cool. Let's wait for a few more to turn up and get this thing kicked off. And I'm going to pull up a couple of people's streams as well in a minute. Your channels, I mean. And I am good, thank you very much. Hey Andrew, how's it going? Just sort of messing around for a couple of minutes and giving a few people a chance to log on. We've got 7 watching now, that's awesome. I think that includes me. Right. There's before we get started, is there anybody here that wants anything in their channel looked at in particular? So if you've got something you want me to check out, we're going to be reviewing some channels and bits and pieces, and also talking about the different environments that you're filming in. So your physical environment, and also a bit there's a bit about dealing with the people that are around you and how they respond to you being a YouTuber, which is something that doesn't get talked about a lot, but does affect all of us. So I thought I might go and just to have a look at people's videos and channel and setup, and see if I can sort of derive. Yeah, no, that's all good, RS. Thank you very much for turning up. That's all cool. Hit that share button, bro. Hey Ryan, awesome. Good to see you around. Okay, so who would like to jump in first and have their channel looked at? I should really look at the camera, not down at the monitor all the time. It's too easy to do that when you're streaming, isn't it? Hey Jelly Duck, my friend Owen, awesome. Woohoo! 10 going already, not too bad. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I suppose I could show you guys my setup to start with, so you can see what I'm kind of working with, which is not ideal for me at the moment, I have to say. And I can do that if I go and grab my cell phone and plug that in. Wait a second. There we go. I was all carefully prepped, and then went and left my cell phone on the other side of the room. That's right. Now I've got a fairly big studio space here. Some of you might have seen it before, some of you haven't. So what I'm going to do here is I've got my iPhone and the lightning to HDMI adapter here, so I'm just going to plug that into my phone, and then I'll be able to show you guys what I'm doing. This is a great little tool, by the way, this thing. It lets you turn your phone into a camera, and a really good quality camera too. Okay, they're using an app called Filmic Pro. There are other apps as well that you can do this with, but I find Filmic Pro to be particularly good at it. Okay, now one of the reasons I'm talking about environment is that I've been thinking about it a lot, and especially the environment that I'm working in, which is, I have to say, a bloody great mess. I mean, whenever I'm streaming, what you guys see of it is the stuff up here and up here, and you know, sometimes I've got different colour lights on and things like that, and these are great sorts of things to have, but the rest of the environment you're working in can have quite an impact on what you're doing. Wayne, my brother, how are you? Well, who else we got on here? There's a few popping up, isn't there? That's good. 14 on now, I'm seeing. Yeah, I've just what I'm going to be talking about today in this video is the different environments that people are working in. And Wayne, yours in particular, I love how you've set yours up. You've got a room basically set up just for YouTubing stuff. Bariotic is around. How are you, Angie? Bariotic is around. I strongly recommend going and checking out Bariotic is around. That that's Angie. She has a great setup at home for doing her streams and YouTubing. It's really nicely set up. Wayne's is really nicely set up. Jelly, I can't remember yours quite. I might go and have a look at that one actually. And my setup here is a work in progress, is what you could call it. And before I carry on here, I'll turn the old telly off over there. So what I've got here is a really good studio building, which is kind of set up, but like a lot of us, I suffer from a day job. You know, you can see the background. I've done that in here, which it is okay, but I really want to do. Yeah, I remember you, Jelly. I've seen you around a lot. And Jelly Duck, I'm just going to have a look and see yours as well. Jelly Duck 100. There we go. I'm just trying to remember what your backgrounds and stuff look like, mate. But I've got my studio in here. It's quite nicely set up, but I need to do a fair bit of work on it, and I've just been thinking about the sorts of things that are involved in setting up an environment. It's really easy just to have this single wall behind you where nobody really sees anything else, but if you have a look around here, and I'm just going to switch you to my cell phone camera now. If you have a look around here, you can see that, well, here's my desk, and I've got the stream running here. I've got a Mac Mini running up here. And this here is a monitor that I've got for the A10 Mini. And I've got a couple of little cameras. This one's sitting up here for top-down shots and things like that, and my microphone. But the rest of the place over here is a bloody great mess and not well-utilised space. And I've got this thing up here which I should be using, which is a Blackmagic 4K TV studio and mixer and everything, and PlayStation on top of it, of course. But as you can see over here, I just got my weights machine and a whole pile of toys over there, my DVD collection, another desk over here. This is my main workstation and editing desk over on that side, which I've got the Mac Pro on. That's, yeah, and as you can see, all the rest of the shelving and everything behind me here is an absolute dog's breakfast, and I need to tidy it up. So I thought what I would do is come and have a look at, whoops, I'll leave that one alone. Come and have a look at the different things that I've got here and what I've been thinking about doing. Hey Shane, yeah, painting green screen. Yeah, half the studio in here, as Ghost in the Neon just said, who's a very good friend of mine, and we do a lot of work together. If you have a look up here, you can see the bits of green floating around behind the DVD shelves, which comes all the way along and halfway along this wall. And we painted all that up to use as a green screen, because the idea was that we would be using this building just as a filming studio. And as I collected more stuff, it ended up being put in here, and various life events happen, that sort of thing. So what we've ended up doing is using this more as an office utility space than a filming space, but I want to sort of recover some of that back and reorganize this and make it, when we were doing this, it was pre-YouTube days basically, and I want to recover some of it back and turn it into a really good vlogging environment, a YouTubing environment. So I'm going to reformat in here. And so what I wanted to do is have a look at some of your guys' spaces and see what you're doing to sort of compare. Now I'm just trying to open up Jelly Duck's page here, but my machine seems to be, oh, there we go, that's what I got to do. I didn't put the spaces in it. It used to be able to search on somebody's actual name and not just the display name, but these days it seems to be display name. And things seem to be going rather slow for me here. Right, Jelly Duck 100, where are you, mate? There we go. Now I've got Jelly Duck. Sorry about that, took a little while, guys. Here we are, Jelly Duck's channel. Now you're in, God, trying to remember where you are. Whereabouts on the planet are you, Jelly Duck? Oop, there we go, I'll turn the sound off on that one. Okay, so I was just wondering if you got any vlog stuff in here. Taste Test, I think, is where you do most of your bits and pieces, isn't it?
Hey everyone.
So are you just shooting in your living room basically? Hey Angie. Oh, that's only half my gadgets, Angie. You should see the other half through this wall behind me. Through this wall behind me here, I've got 2 whole lanes of more cameras and lights and dollies and film gear and cranes and there's copyright. That's why I'm not playing the audio on here. Yep. Yeah, so do you do most of your stuff in living room sort of setting, do you, Jelly Duck? I'm just sort of gonna have a bit of a nosy around your studio here, and I was gonna have a look at what people could do also in their spaces. Yeah, Ghost in the Neon, aka Shane, goes through a lot of the stuff I've got behind here quite regularly. What else have we got in here? So do you actually have any special lighting or anything like that, Jelly? There's a bit of a delay on here. I know in a lot of cases people are quite happy just shooting in their living rooms if the lighting's okay, but I'm sort of starting to get to the point I'm being quite a bit fussier than that, and I'm really looking for new spaces and everything to work in. So For some reason I thought you had a bit of a studio space there at sometime, Jelly Duck. But I must have been mistaken. Bariotic is around as I think you Angie. Oh, okay, you're just working on iOS in your living room. Cute Cut Pro. I might have to look at that one. Here's Angie's channel. Now Angie's also from memory in a corner of your living room as well, if you haven't moved down to the dungeon yet. I was just going to have a look at some of your live streams, because that's the environment that I was thinking of. Did you have any of those up here still? Be under your playlists, won't it? Did you have your live streams on a playlist? I can't even see them. Yeah, it's very simple, but it's also very, very effective. Which one is it in? I must be looking in the wrong places for you. I love your thumbnails that you've been doing as well, by the way. Absolutely fantastic recently. Oh, was that one? Ah, no more. Pardon me. Still got a bit of a tickle in my throat. Ah, okay, that's why I can't find them. Ha! Here's me going and looking around. Did you have something there that was shot in that same background? Or is it just the vlogs now? I'm just having a bit of a look. I thought I saw something. No, she's tidied up her channel a lot, and just all vlog stuff is now, is it? Ah, yep, that'll do it. This is what happens when you're doing things impromptu. Yeah, if you can, yeah, that's good. Roars will end. Haha, how are you, Connor? Roars will end writes games, amongst other things. Yeah, if you guys haven't hooked up with Barioticus around, do go sign up with Angie. His stuff is absolutely hilarious. And see, I'm already subscribed, as you can see. Yeah. Oh, okay. So can't actually have a look at the studio thing that we were talking about before, but basically what she's got is 3-point lighting in here. So I think from memory you had a light going onto the back that was bouncing off and working as a backlight, and then a key light and a fill light, didn't you? From memory. But yeah, that's good basic 3-point lighting is a great thing to have if you can manage it. It's just a matter of grabbing. For me, I've got the big studio lights in here, so I've got like this one up here, which is an LED panel. I've got another one over there that I use from time to time, and I've got a light over here that I just use as a backlight. It's not much, and the rest of the backlight just comes from those things. And of course the amount that the one up here bounces back down also works as a backlight for me, so that gives me fairly cheap 3-point lighting in here as well. I'm just reading through while I'm doing this. Yeah, sometimes the studio space can be outside, well, once again, Angie finds some fantastic outside venues and things for using, which is easy to find fantastic venues when you're living in Germany, because the place is just full of them. Where are we? This one here, I remember, was pretty cool. Oh yes, this here. Now I think this cellar Angie should use as her, there you go, as her studio. I reckon that you should set this one up as your studio space. But this is a really good example of finding somewhere that's got great texture, and the lighting plays at the place really well, and just using incidental lighting, which is what we call the basically lights that just exist. And quite often, if you're using incidental lighting and studio lighting at the same time, you can get some really good effects. So I really think that you should set this up as a vlogging or chat space here, Angie, because it's fantastic. And if you end up having it as wine cellar and chat space, that could get really funny. But yeah, I'll leave that one alone at the moment. That's a fantastic cellar. What light do you use? Oh yeah, drones need licensing in Germany. Okay. Yeah, the dungeon is fantastic. You can do all sorts of fun stuff there now. I wish I had a dungeon in my house, because I can tell you right now it would be a great studio, because no outside noise interference and people next door with their lawnmowers going and things like that, which is another, back to the original topic of environment, is a really important thing to have, is somewhere that's got really good soundproofing and soundboards, so not only for protecting you from outside sound but also preventing echo and stuff inside, which is one of the reasons I filled this room up with so much stuff, was because when it was just an empty room with hard walls, there was a hell of an echo in here as well. Yeah, the lighting you guys are using in there is awesome, and just the way that place is built is awesome. Anyway, I'm still looking at it in the other monitor I've got going here. Now, really good sound baffling is really easy to get. You can buy it on AliExpress or eBay. Amazon have probably got it as well. And the channel that springs to mind for using sound baffling really well is Wayne. And I'm just going to bring up something with Wayne on it, if he's not actually online, because he's almost always online. I think you might sleep less than me, Wayne. So here we go, watch with Wayne. I'm just bringing up a vid that's got his background in it. Let's see which angle he's on. So there we go. There's a shot of Wayne's studio space, and as you can see in there, he's got all of the I was going to point up here with my finger, that's not going to work, I'll use the mouse. Up here he's got the sound baffling he's put in. Was that just a straight black baffling, Wayne? But he's got that there, and then around it he's got incidental lights and a couple of, effect lights and a couple of incidental lights and coloured lights that really just help bring up the texture and show it, and it turns into a really great background. I'm just going to scan along and see if he gets a slightly different angle on it there on that video or not. He moves around a wee bit and does some pretty neat stuff. I might go find another one of his videos. There's another angle, and it's just a really good example how there's just a few things, personality things in the background. You can see the wall there. This time he's got it all blue lit instead of red lit. I think that's largely dealing with whatever topic he's running on at the time and what mood he's in, because he can be kind of fun there. But yeah, this sound baffling, I think the panels are about a foot square or a foot and a half square, and you can buy them in lots of like 2 or 3 dozen or 4 dozen or something like that, pretty cheap online. And after I've done the video here, I think I might go and put a link to some of these things in the description afterwards as well, so that you can go find them. So pop back to the replay of this and just have a look at the description as well. What else have we got in here? So yeah, that's another great environment. Now, who else is using a good background and things that I know of? Wayne, if you are still here and watching, let us know what lighting and stuff you're using there, because that's something I wasn't sure of. I've had a bit of a look before at your background lighting and things, but not what you're using for key light and fill light. I can see there it's above the brim of your cap, of course, but yeah. Angie's video on Bariotica's around is called 130-year-old house or something. If you can go check that one out, it's has a look at a lot of the environments that she uses. That's really cool. I love your house, Angie. It's a great place. Osho, Owen, you've got a bit of a nice setup there as well, haven't you? The Osho. Here we go. So Wayne's anyways a really good example of what you can do with just a corner of a room and setting it up as a studio, kind of like I've done here. But what I've done here is there's something that it's okay, but it's not what I'm happy with. I'm having a look around and seeing what a lot of other people are doing. I really would like to go and get some of that sound baffling like Wayne's got, because it creates a nice environmental space with a bit of depth and really easily coloured and able to change the mood in it and move around a fair bit. But one of the things behind me I don't have here is a lot of throw space, so it's actually only about a metre behind me, and that's all the space I've got here, and that's something I definitely want to change. Now Osho, just waiting for that one to come up. Now let me have a look here. Oh yeah. Oh, you did get the iPhone 12.
Yeah, we're gonna have a look at some height.
Now, Owen, a lot of his stuff is done with a green screen, so it's usually on his other channel, DX Plays, and yeah, I managed to freeze frame there on a shot where you're holding something up over your face, brother. I'll try and get a shot where you're not pulling a funny face as well. There we go. So yeah, Owen basically he does a lot of stuff using the green screen and has gaming going on as well. And if you're doing something like that, that lets you create you can basically put any space behind you in any environment you want behind you, of course, if you're using the chroma key. But once again, if you want to do that really well, you really do need a decent throw space between you and the chroma key. And we got stormtroopers and shit down there. Nice, I didn't see those before. Between you and the chroma key, so you don't throw too much shadow on it. On here, there's a fair bit of shadow down the sides and stuff like that. So that will key quite well, but you need to be careful about how you're doing that one. I thought I saw something where you had a bit more studio space at one time there, brother. Oh, there we go, these ones here. So, yeah, once again, just a space set up, but just in the corner of the living room, corner of the kitchen or something there, isn't it? And, yeah, if that's what you've got to set up, that's awesome, but if you can find a corner of a room or a shed or something, it would stop me knocking stuff over when you visit. Yeah, it's also because you're twice the size of a normal human being. Shane is our resident Hagrid kind of giant thing. You should pop over. We should do some videos and stuff together. Right, Ewalt. You've got to leave it thumbnails. Oh, things that, are you talking about things in the thumbnails that so where they put something in a thumbnail and it's not actually part of the video? Yeah, it's not a good idea to try and trick people into going to your videos by putting something in the thumbnail that's not part of the video. Yeah, bikinis are an obvious one, or there are some places that do they put a horrific car crash on it and then you just end up watching 10 minutes of traffic on the motorway and nothing happens. This sort of things. Yeah, or what a yeah, so you're right about those misleading thumbnails. You might get clicks onto that video, but those people are going to feel ripped off when the stuff on the thumbnail isn't actually in the video, and they're not going to subscribe to you, and they're not going to come back and watch more stuff either. Their channels like that are yeah, a bit despicable, basically. Angie says, why not invest in a green screen cloth and cover the wall altogether? Yeah, that's a really good thing to do. Or you can do what we did here and actually just paint the whole wall. In fact, when we first did this, we painted the walls over there, and we also had MDF down on the floor, and we had a green screen floor as well, so we could green screen the whole body and a curved edge around it, but we ended up taking that out because basically because we're not filming in here so much. It ended up not being such a good throw space, and we needed a bit more depth, and also the lighting and the cameras we had at the time didn't quite work for us, so we ended up reusing it. What I would like to be able to do is have green screens that I could drop down in front of this stuff now. Definitely, I do have some really good green screen fabric that I love using, and that's another one of the reasons I want to clear some of the space up and make it more usable for filming again. As I said when we started doing this and when I set the studio up as it is now, there wasn't really a YouTube as such. So anyway, tell me it's a frame from my video. Yeah, using a frame from your video is a really good way of doing it. A lot of YouTubers and a lot of the big guys around will say that they won't start shooting until they've already got a thumbnail. So they'll go out and they'll shoot a thumbnail for it. I know that Casey Neistat, for example, he will go out. What he does is when he's out shooting, he'll film his segment and then he'll stop and he'll actually take some stills as thumbnail candidates as well, and end up with a number of those during the shooting process, he'll take a whole heap of stills, but he'll get a particular angle or a particular composition that works, so that maybe it's like he'll be over one side filling part of frame, and then he's got that bit up there for putting a title card or something like that, or he'll write a title on a piece of cardboard and hold that up as his title, so that he doesn't have to do any work in Photoshop or anything afterwards. Yeah, nice. That's great. Unfortunately, he's not making a lot of videos right at the moment. I think it's been quite some time since he actually created anything. I think it was just before the US election he made a video, who I'm voting for, and I don't think he's put anything up since, sadly. So, Casey, if you happen to be watching this, yeah, make me another video. I can't see that happening. What else have we got going on here? I hope my thumbnails do not come across as misleading. No, yours don't at all. They're always actually showing the environment that you're in. Yeah, your videos, Angie, are always, as you say, they're screenshots from your video, so they'll, if you do that, they're not going to be misleading. They are, they are of the content of the video, obviously, and they're great. Actually, I absolutely love your thumbnails. They're, I'll just bring up your page of thumbnails. Down, where are we? Down. There we go. There you go. Here's. Whoops, I clicked one button too many, didn't I? Yeah, here's Angie's thumbnails, and there's a couple of things in here that a lot of people really should do with their thumbnails. The first thing is they're all very dynamic, and there's something emotive going on in all of them. As you can see, they've got Angie's always got her face in it and always pulling an expression of some sort. That's a great thing to do. Deadpan in your thumbnails, not so cool. Think about the type of people that you want to go up and have a chat with. And also in here, the text in here is something to make you sort of ask, oh, what's going on here? It's not putting the title in it. This one here is, the high one. That's great. It's you don't need to put the title of the video in the thumbnail. Actually, it's a lot of people often put far too much in a thumbnail text wise, and if your viewer can't read it within a few seconds, then it's just way too much, and it actually puts people off. So I know there's a lot of people go, but there's a lot of things I need to tell people to get them to the video. But if you've got more than like 3 or 4 words in there, 3, 4, 5 words, and you can't just read it at a glance, then it's a waste of time putting all of that information in the thumbnail, because no one's ever going to see it. And also making sure the text is of a reasonable size as well. So down here where you've got the question marks, and this one says Unreal and Ha and that sort of thing, these are great thumbnails, and also just an identifier on here to say it's a vlog rather than a live stream or something else. Or another thing you might come up with is tutorials if you get some new gear, or a review or something like that. So yeah, these thumbnails are great, and particularly how you keep great shots of buildings and things, where you're in the photo plus the background shows where you are in the vlog. The sort of thing's great. I can't think of anything I don't actually like about your thumbnails. The thing you were asking about with the titles, are you using TubeBuddy, Ange, to help with your titles? Yeah, keeping the text to a minimum is great. No, I'll come back to your thumbnails in a second, Jelly. Yeah, for your titles, come up with a title. Look for some keywords that do describe what's in the video, and then use the TubeBuddy Keyword Explorer to tweak that around and see if you'll make sure your keyword in your title is a search term that's getting plenty of search traffic, but not too many competitive results, and that will help drive more traffic to your videos as well. I've got a few videos on my channel about doing that, about keyword using TubeBuddy to explore keyword phrases and come up with titles and for good search results. Yeah, curiosity is a great thing to evoke. That's what you need to be doing with your thumbnail. Is, you know, you want people to be looking at your thumbnail and going, oh, what's it, you know, saying, oh, what's that about, or that's, you know, they want to go and find out what it is. They want to explore it. You know, you're getting them asking that question. A good movie intro would be the same sort of thing as well. You know, if you're creating a scene in a movie, you don't just want to go straight into the traffic. You want to start like, say, a gumshoe detective film. You just want to start in the dark with a street light and then a couple of shoes that walk into shot, and then you show a little bit more. And you always want, oh yeah, definitely use TubeBuddy for your titles. Yeah, and then the shoes walk into shot, and then you see a close-up or a silhouette of the detective. These series of shots that ask a question, then answer it, and ask another question. So the viewer always wants to see what's next. You always leave them slightly unfulfilled, but always keep filling that promise, and just keep that cycle of curiosity and answer and reveal sort of going on. Is a really good thing to do. Whoops, I haven't flipped back to the... I thought I'd flip back to this camera, so I've been talking directly to you, but I keep forgetting to push the buttons. Jelly, your thumbnails. There we are. There seem to be a lot of channels called Jelly Duck something, surprisingly. Channel oh, sometimes I can find your channel, sometimes I can't. It's a bit weird. There it is. Jelly's thumbnails. And I like these as well. They're always something that's some of them are a little bit weird because I see there are some videos where you've been shooting tool screen. Don't shoot tool screen, guys. Yeah, shooting tool screen, not a great thing to do. Widescreen, because we don't have tool screen monitors except Commander. For some reason turn one of his monitors around. But I really like these, like 2021 icons and things you put up here. They're quite cool. But there are some up here, like this one you've got, the JDK podcast. There's a lot of text on that one, and I can't actually read it, which is one of the things a lot of people do. And the next one, how to play Lonely Day, you don't actually need to use space on the thumbnail to put the title in, because it's always listed directly below. And if you keep your title to I think it was 64 or 70 characters or something, have a count of the number of the characters that you can use before the ... slips in. I did know what that was, but I keep forgetting. What else we got here? I think the main thing is just make sure that any text you do have on your thumbnail is actually readable, and that people can discern what the image is. So this one here, the what does it say? Oh yeah, November 24th. Oh, YouTube Shorts. I haven't played with that. Yeah, I keep meaning to go and have a look at it, but I'm afraid if I do, then I'll go ooh, and it'll soak up far too much of my time. This one here, where you've got the title in sort of a moderate sized font, but it clashes with the background, and it's actually really difficult to read that is. Personally, I would have put that text just slightly higher and in a darker font so that it was easy to read at a glance. What else we got in here? So yeah, I guess it's just about making sure that dad jokes. I'm gonna have to go watch that one. I love dad jokes. The best thing about dad jokes is, I mean, they don't have to be funny, because the enjoyment is in watching other people cringe when you tell them. I love your cologne ASMR one. Now, a lot of these, where you've got the how to make and how to create in GarageBand and stuff, those are good thumbnails. I really like those ones. They work well. So yeah, these here, these are great thumbnails. Yeah, even though it's sort of lo-fi text and that sort of stuff, it's okay, because it's a style. And yeah, weirdest band that I've ever listened to. I like that one. Is that your actual fro, or did you get a wig for that, bro? Yeah, and some of these are really good, because these ones here, I actually really like these. They're a little bit different each time, and like this one here, where you styled it with the Santa hat and some different textures and things in the background. You don't need to have any text in there, because the image jumps out and grabs you straight away, and it pulls the eye to it. And when you pull somebody's eye to it, then you've got a couple of seconds for them to read the title, and they work really, really well. I really like those ones. Yes, LumaFusion, which I happen to be using on here right now. This one. So LumaFusion also works really well with the HDMI adapter, and plug that into the ATEM, and there you go, Bob's your auntie. Oops. Yeah, plug the LumaFusion into the ATEM down here, and then it all comes up on screen, real time and nice, clean, full screen, without that black border on it anymore. So don't know if you saw my previous version about previous video, which was almost a year ago to the day, about using LumaFusion on the iPhone. But it had a big ugly black border around it, so it didn't quite go full screen. The new LumaFusion does it properly and gives you the whole screen, so it's great. So if you've got an iPad or an iPhone and you want an idiot to LumaFusion, actually I think it's on Android now as well, which it wasn't a year ago. I don't know. I've got an Android phone. I should go and have a look later. So yeah, that Lightning to HDMI adapter mixed with the ATEM Mini Pro is the bomb. What else we got in here, guys? Any other particular questions and stuff that people have got? It'd be cool to have in. Shane, Mr. Ghost in the Neon. We should. I guess you got to finish building the house before you put a studio in, haven't you? I'm dying to get into your shed and help you turn that into studio space. Another really simple one. He's not online at the moment because he's going to be in bed probably, but there's a new channel from a friend of mine, and I'll just bring that one up here as well. It's called Bricks and Builds. Okay, this is a Bricks and Builds. Where is it? Might take me a sec to dig down and find this one, because it's a new channel, so unfortunately it doesn't come up too quickly in search. YouTube are great like that. No, not that one, just bear with me for a moment. There it is. Here we go. So this is my mate Tim is another Tim, so you know he's classy straight away. His brand new channel. He's just got the about half a dozen videos on here now. If you haven't had a look, oh, he's okay. He's just put something else up a couple of days ago. Two of those ones. That's what it is. And he's got a channel where he's doing Lego builds, and he's just sort of learning the ropes. He's trying to create better thumbnails at the moment. We did some work setting up a Photoshop template for thumbnails for him, so that he can get the product shots and some text templates. So these thumbnails will be improving a lot. But yeah, what he's done here for his background and his basically his studio space is he's just found a good fabric which is nice and light coloured, and is using that so it doesn't hold a hard shadow or anything. It's actually quite a flocky fabric. It's not a satin or a matte fabric. It's actually fluffy, quite fluffy and bouncy, and so you don't get very hard edges on the shadows. I keep going up to point at this with my hand, of course, which isn't going to work. So yeah, if you have a look around these figures at the back and everything like that, you can see it doesn't hold any hard shadows, so it don't get any really high contrasty edges, and it gives a really nice even light on the Lego builds that he's doing. And there's far too easy to sit here and binge watch. So yeah, go find this channel, Bricks and Builds. I will link to it. Actually, I can put a link to that in the chat, can't I? That's way too easy. I will do that right now. Really sloppy live stream this one, sorry guys, but I've been a bit out of practice. Alright, to Bricks and Builds, filter, channels. There it is. There. Link. Trying to get this guy up to his first 100 subs, and then we can get him a proper channel name. Who here has a custom channel name, and more importantly, who doesn't? Just out of curiosity. It surprises me sometimes how many people don't have a channel name. There you go. That link there goes to Tim's channel. So yeah, go help a homie out. And it's great stuff if you're into Lego at all. And let's face it, we're all into Lego. Then yeah, he's using a single GoPro at the moment, and we're looking at maybe seeing if I can hook him up with a couple of different GoPros once he's got a good base of videos up. But you know, this beautifully does the trick right now. It's actually on a very short disk space, but because of the wide angle lens of the GoPro, it gives the impression of there being quite a bit more space than there is. And he's got a couple of studio lights up around him, photo lights. Primarily he's a photographer, but also obviously a big Lego fan, so this is an ideal thing for him to be making a channel about. But anyways, so that's that one. Jade Finch Scene, how are you? This is my channel name. Cool. What's your channel about? Good to see you here. I'm going to go have a look at that one then. This is kind of turning into a bit of a shout job as well. I love your icon. ATM Mini walkthrough stuff, yeah. ATM Mini videos are always good. Yeah, absolutely love using the ATM here. Yeah, Jade Finch Scene. Brand new channel again, I take it. Now you've got a video about this microphone that I have seen around. I'm just going quiet while I'm having a look at this. Yeah, how is that microphone, mate? Yeah, space is... Yeah, creating spaces to work in is fun. Or do you mean like space as in Starship space? I've had a bit of a fascination about working spaces recently. That particular microphone, the Marantz MP M3000, now I've seen stuff about that one. It's kind of a competitor to the Blue Yeti, I believe. Got your first troll. Yeah, I don't mind the troll comments, because they I'm just gonna sub to that one, thank you. I don't mind the trolls, it's all more engagement. Yeah, I'm keen to hear your impressions on that microphone, because it's one that I've been looking at for this desk. Colonizing Mars. Yeah, there's a lot of people doing a lot of videos and live streams about trying to get off this planet, but actually videos about colonizing Mars would be fantastic. Yeah, so yeah, be quite keen to hear your opinion on that mic. Did you find it was really good, or? Oh yeah, I see. Yeah. So I've been toying about getting one, but obviously when you're just buying stuff online and you haven't really seen them, it's a bit tricky. But yeah, videos about colonizing Mars, I'm definitely right into that. I will be there. I've sort of had a whole heap of ideas about how they could design and use the superstructures of Starship and Starship boosters as habitat and various things, and sort of recycle that big parts of infrastructure. Planet New. Anywho. Oh, excellent! Yeah, because I do use the Blue Yeti, as you can see. I've got down here on my other desk when I'm doing videos from there. Though I kind of stopped doing videos from down there because the background was annoying me, and I'm just doing them from here now using the Rode mic, which makes horrible noises when you drag the microphone stand up and down, and it just pops into view here a little bit sometimes. I'll just turn it away. God, doesn't matter what you do, it just sort of wants to drop into view. So yeah, no, I'm definitely keen on seeing trolls are definitely, yep, trolls are fun. You get to troll them back. I often go back to their own channels and re-engage that way, get more views. Yeah, definitely keen on seeing space stuff and Mars colonization videos. That would be absolutely fantastic. And then in 3 or 4 years' time, you know what I would absolutely love to do, except it's completely impractical and would completely piss my family off no end. Tickets to Mars are going to be around about $100,000 from 2024 onwards potentially. Now, how cool would it be to be the first YouTuber on Mars, bro? That would be fucking wicked. Talk about working out of town. Hey Connor, how pissed would you be if I decided to go work on Mars? What else we got in here? Yeah, Shane, I think we're going to have to go and put up a new building at the back of your place. I was thinking of putting up a further one out the back of here as well. Just because I felt like it really, no particular real need. I just want to have more studio space. Shane did find me a building in a semi-industrial part of town recently that I could have afforded if I'd sold my house. I could move into it and set it up, and it's got a big apartment on the top floor and 2 large floors of warehouse and office and commercial space, and it's even got a built-in cafeteria, cafe ready to go. And I'll tell you what, that was bloody tempting, but I didn't, because not good timing. If that one still pops up again, Shane, later, and no one's taken it, then would really like to do that. Yeah, great to see you, Angie. Thanks for sticking around. Okie doke. My place needs extra land. Yeah, I would absolutely love to buy the property behind me and the property next door, and then just put up a whole pile more of these buildings, which is basically a large triple garage with soundproofing. Yes, Lotto, exactly. See you, Angie. Thanks for coming around, love. Okay, is there anything else that people want to look at here? I've been checking out a few channels. Who else we got? Ewalt. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce your name properly, which kind of sucks. It's kind of hard to work that out when you just got type, but I'll do my best. There we go. Just pulling up your channel here. Let's have a look and see what you're doing. Okay, so are you a singer-songwriter? I'll just check your about page here. So here we're at De Reuter. Here we go, here's his about page, which is not in English. And I've got to say, I'm not that good with okay, not 100% sure there. I'm very vague on other languages. Puppeteer. Okay. Let me have a quick look here. So do you do you build and use puppets, or okay, the kids on roller skates I wasn't expecting. Is this stuff you've made here, Eva? cut in with some interesting other bits. And some music videos. Are these your things as well? Now, love the lighting and camera that you're using on here. This is really good quality production. I take it that's you there. Oh, that's excellent, mate. Really cool thing to do. Yeah, so was this in a theatre space? I'm just looking at the lighting and the floor and everything. Looks like it might be in a theatre. Would that be right? I'm just having a quick flick through some of these. Oh, that's gorgeous. A Van Gogh puppet. Unless I'm there. Oh, that's beautiful. So do you make these puppets, Eva? Pardon me. Hey Christine, Lady Coach Explores is a really supportive YouTuber. Definitely go and subscribe, by the way, everybody. Yeah, Ewart, I'm really loving this stuff. I'm definitely going to sub to that and come back and check some more of this out. I'm loving this stuff. A Van Gogh puppet is just fantastic. So the puppet's actually painting. Beautiful. And yeah, I love the thumbnails that you've done. Some of them, the text on the thumbnails is probably a bit too much because it's covered in the title, and like on your first one here, the text is very, very hard to read and quite distracting, and the thumbnail would actually work quite well without the text because it's just sitting here anyway. There's another one of these cases where I would just keep it down to 1 or 2 words. The Ripper. See, this one here is great. It doesn't need any text on it. The title does it all. Straight away you want to come and have a look at it. no, I shouldn't be just stopping here and watching things, but this is it is actually quite fascinating. I'm just having a look to see what it is that you've built this out of. I can see there's a couple of old speakers and a just electrical components, aren't they? There's, yeah, that's neat. I really like it. Just building a town out of things that look like the, oh yeah, so those are just meters, and aren't they? Electrical meters and switches and stuff. That's really nicely done. I love that kind of thing. And do you use that for a, oh, I see. So you're running do you run a puppet show kind of in that environment? Very cool. That's very cool. But the thumbnail is nice and simple, and it does the trick, and you can see what's, you know, it's evocative, so it makes you want to click on it and see it, and all of these do. That's really cool. Thank you very much for popping on here. Glad I looked at this, because I'm going to come back and keep an eye on it. One thing I will say is, in the videos, a lot of them is just a montage of stills. It would be so cool if there was actually more video in the videos, instead of just the montage of stills. And I'm definitely going to come back and play them later with audio. I mean, what's here is really cool, and yeah, this will look. You can never go wrong with a cat video. You know, everyone will always sit through a cat video, especially me. You kind of can't help yourself with cats, can you? Thank you very much for that, for you out there. No, that's fantastic. I love seeing this stuff. Right, who else we got here? Who else has got us some stuff to have a look at? Lady Coach. Now, back to talking about environment with Lady Coach Explores. I'm just bringing up a couple of shots here. There we go. Now, Lady Coach here is, her videos are very restricted because of the environment that she's forced to make them in, rather than choosing to have a restricted environment or something. She's actually done some really cool stuff to make the most out of the only environment available to her for various reasons. And I'm just going to quickly jump into here. And quite often the worst thing you could have for making videos in is just a plain blank wall. But she's done some really cool stuff to make it work. And I'm just going to, actually I've only got a low res version of it here for some reason. It just hasn't rendered properly for me. But here we go. So this is the type of thing she's done. So she's had that plain wall behind her, and she's picked a spot where the light gradient is quite good across it. And correct me if I'm wrong, Christina, but you're very limited to the lighting that you've got available as well, aren't you? Because I think that the light just mostly comes from the room light plus one window. Was that correct? And but she's managed to create an environment that's actually got some really cool depth in it just by putting those flowers there, and it creates a frame and stops the background wall from being just empty, by putting something in the foreground, which is not something I'd thought of before. Though it is something we do when we're filmmaking. We'd have something in the foreground and we'd move the camera through it or something like that, so you get that difference in parallax. And you know, like if you're filming say a vehicle coming down the road, you might pull your camera across and have some grass in the foreground, and that creates a depth and gives some sort of spatial awareness for the viewer. So you've got the grass in the foreground and the car on the road, and then some hills or mountains in the background. And Lady Coach has done the same sort of thing here by putting the flowers in the foreground. She's created a frame, and a similar setup on some other of her earlier videos. I'll just pull the videos up again, won't be a second. Where she's got the flowers around both sides and things here, so sort of down here. And a lot of these are just live streams and chat videos and that sort of thing, and that's fine. But she's set it up in such a way here where it's actually creating that frame around her, where you can't have anything behind you and you're unable to get to another environment. You can create that environment in some real innovative, tricky ways sometimes, and it comes out, it works really, really well. And this is just one of those things about making the environment available to work for you. Yeah, and yeah, I really love the way that this works. It has a really sort of almost a fairy mythological feel to it. So yeah, that's, yeah, I absolutely love the way that works. And it shouldn't, but it does. You know, like when a bumblebee flies, it shouldn't be able to, but for some reason that all just works. So I love those, and I can't wait to see what you come up with after you get back home, Christina. That's going to be fantastic. What else we got going on in here? It's quite a bit of a delay on the stream for some reason. Ooh, pardon me. For some reason. And God, I've been talking away and I haven't even realised how far time's gone. It's ooh, that was me just spotting something on the live streaming thing which I hadn't seen before. Wow, okay. There's some new stuff on the streaming in our YouTube studio, which I'm not going to go into too much here, but you can, for creating a stream marker and creating a highlight video from a stream. I hadn't seen those before, and I am going to go and find out about those. Jade says, I pinned up a bunch of... Hey Paul, how are you, brother? Yeah, Jade says, I pinned up a bunch of vintage fabric that came from my gran. That's a cool way of doing it. I like that idea. How are you, Paul? Paul does some neat background stuff as well. We're just looking at the environments that people are shooting in and that they create, mate. And yeah, so for example, there's this one from Lady Coach, which you've seen before, where she is very restricted into with the environment that she's got available, but she uses the flowers in the foreground to compensate for being able to have different backgrounds, and makes that framing really, really work. And I'm just going to now jump onto Paul Blogs 2. I never figured out what the 2 was for. Now, Paul mostly uses green screen, especially in his live streams. Thank you, Paul, appreciate that. Flick's been doing quite a bit better the last few days. Long may that continue. Are you using a permanent green screen, Paul, or are you using a oh, okay, I can see in a couple of your videos here that you're using a green screen disc. Oh, that one's just that test stream you did the other day, isn't it? So there's Paul with the green screen. And oh, that's interesting. Have you got your green screen between in front of the back of your chair? So between you and the chair back. That's quite an interesting way of doing it. I hadn't actually noticed it before because I usually only see the chromid end result, which is more like, yeah, where are we here? Except you haven't chromated it out down here. I'm picking the wrong videos for this, aren't I? Hey, EVNZ, how are you? EVNZ. EVNZ, whereabouts in the country are you? I know I've asked you this before, but I've got a shocker of a memory, so I never bloody remember anything. So here's what we were talking about before. So Paul basically green screens out behind him, so he uses that all the time, and so he can put himself into any environment, and it comes up really, really well. What do you use for the chroma keying, Paul? That's right, you are in Auckland. I'm going to be up in Auckland in I think it's the first week of May. I've got a charity fight gig up there that I'm doing some work for, and I might want a couple of video people, so hit me up. Might need a couple of camera operators. Something else I do, guys, is fight events. Lots of fun, that. I'm waiting for my camera battery to go flat. I've got another one here for when it does. This one here. Yeah, so using the full green screen and having no environment behind you, but always compositing in something else is a very cool thing to do. In this case, that's London, Big Ben there, I think. I hope it is, otherwise I look like an idiot. So yeah, so that's another really good way of doing it. So you can just cut a background in like that and do whatever you want. That might be really useful for your Mars inhabiting stuff as well there. Yeah, it's actually very easy to get green screen, fabric and paint, but you need to be careful, as I found out recently. There's two lots of green screen. There's the normal green screen stuff that you get is actually, if I just drop back to that video Paul's here with the disc, this green screen here is something that you use if you've got if you're shooting in final color, so you're not like shooting a flat image or something or a cinegrade that you'd be using with a film camera. If you're using a cinema camera and you're shooting in a very flat profile, if you don't know what that means, it means that it lowers the black points and raises the white points so that you've got more data, but it's a very unnatural looking image because it's all about capturing more data for post-production. And so that's why they call it flat, as it does flattens the highlights and brings up the shadows and stuff, so that there's more texture at those extreme ends of the light spectrum. But if you're shooting a flat image, that's where you want to use something like Wellywood, which was a much more yellow green screen, and I got caught short doing that about a year ago in a film, and ended up having to reshoot the whole thing. Use chroma key. Is that in OBS or using something other than OBS? Because I think OBS's chroma key has become very good these days, isn't it? The A10 Mini also has a built-in chroma key as well that I've used a few times, and I've been tempted to use that more often, except I'm not far enough away from my background here to make it work as well as I'd like with the lighting I've got. Do you backlight your green screen? now I'm in trouble. I'm competing with PewDiePie for time. I'm sure he'll get over it. I won't take too many of his viewers away from him. Are you somethings? I'm definitely a something, Paul. Why do I get the feeling that you put that in the wrong chat? But yeah, so yeah, that's a bit of a ramble of a live stream anyway. Yeah, definitely go over play with it, Jade. They're lots of fun. Yeah, backlight for the green screen is fun. I don't have a translucent one to do that with, but it is something I've been wanting to try out. I might try it with my big fabric. I've got some great big huge studio size, 4x6 meter green screens and huge stands. I've got about a dozen of those buggers that we had for a studio space that we were using at one stage, and they're all just packed up in the other half of my studio at the moment. But I need to get those out and play with them. We should do that. Shane, let's go do some green screen playing when you've got a day off. Yeah, okay. Anywho, I've got a day off, which is just as much of a joke. Anywho, we've been going for about nearly an hour and a half. So I'm probably going to leave this one here. I'm going to try and do these more regularly and hopefully more coherently as well. Just sort of popped on and thought I'd see who turned up and had a bit of a chat. And it's good having a look at some of these channels. I've discovered a few new things myself. I hope the rest of you have. And build up a few more people and get something going here. Also keen to see what you guys would like to see in other streams, and I think it might be a good idea just to try and hook up some questions and bits and pieces beforehand. Definitely need to add a bit more structure to it, that's obvious, but yeah, haven't done one for a while, so a bit of a ramble. That's okay. It was cool fun. Thanks for coming around, guys. I'm going to go and make myself a cup of tea and sit down and maybe watch something and have a think about putting a video together, because I've really got to start getting back into posting more regularly. I want to post daily this year, and I've already missed a month and a half, a month and a quarter. I got to catch up. Okay, I will do that, and I will see you guys later. Thanks for sticking around. I've gone and subbed to most of your channels. Evie and Z, I'm pretty sure I've got you. I'm just looking at that now. Oh, that's right, yes. Yes, I have subbed to you. Ooh. 560 subs you're getting there. Excellent. I'm just ignoring you guys while I have a look at the channel. There we go. There you go. Another New Zealand YouTuber. I gotta get rid of this cough. Another New Zealand YouTuber and some really cool stuff on here. I'm going to go and have a bit of a look around. Tomato Peak. That's a bit of a hike. God, I haven't been up there for a while. I went to school in Hastings. Anyway, thank you very, very much. Sheep. There's lots of those in New Zealand. We've got plenty of sheep. They're delicious. And with that, I will catch you guys later. Go create something cool. Go join up with Lady Coach Explores, and there's a Facebook group for Lady Coach Explores too, which I'll send out to some of you as well, because a great place for dedicated YouTubers and creators to jump on and support each other. And I'm just thinking it's got to be bloody 35 years since I was last up Tomato Peak. 30 years at least. I'm having a nostalgia trip, and I'll see you guys next time, and I'll make you a video tomorrow morning. I might even start shooting it in a few minutes. See you later. Bye everyone. And he finds the buttons to click on to end stream. There it is.